Welcome back to another English lesson. We have to talk about some bad weather that is probably going to affect most Americans, about 130 of us. But as I am recording right now, it's actually pretty nice. Yes, we do have some snow on the ground already, but this weekend we are going to get up to 2 feet of snow. Where I live, we're only going to get snow, but in many places in the United States, they are going to get ice and extremely cold weather. We are talking about 50 below zero with the wind chill, and we'll talk about wind chill in a minute, but that could be very bad. The last time this happened in the United States, over 250 people died. They did not make it because of this storm. So obviously, I hope that doesn't happen this weekend, but it is a possibility. And we are going to watch a newscast about this storm. They are going to use some pretty difficult terms, but don't worry, that's where I come in. So I'm going to go downstairs where I can teach a little bit better, and I'm going to show you that first news clip. While you do that, please don't forget, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and if you would like, become a channel member. Right up there is a QR code you can scan, or there is a link in the description, because I am going to make an English lesson while the snow is coming down. See you in just a minute.
This morning, a massive storm system set to sweep across the U.S., with 120 million Americans under winter alerts for the weekend. With snow already falling, the upcoming storm system predicted to span more than 2,000 miles, putting every major metro from New York City to Dallas in its path. Residents prepping for a crippling freeze.
We're getting gallons of water and packets of tuna and salmon for the cats.
Are you ready? I'm ready. Let's go. 23 terms you might hear when talking about bad weather in English. Certainly, some of these terms you will see on the IELTS or TOEFL exam, or you might also hear just regular, everyday Americans using these terms in their conversation. So let's get the glasses on and let's take a look at the first word, alerts. Alerts. There are a lot of alerts throughout the United States right now because of this bad weather. Alerts are warnings or short messages that tell you about danger, not in danger. They tell you about danger or important news. Here is a sentence that uses alerts. My phone sent loud weather alerts to warn us about the coming snowstorm. They talked about these weather alerts spanning through much of the nation. So let's talk about what it means to span, or to span something. That means to cover a specific distance, area, or amount of time. The heavy rain is expected to span the entire weekend from Friday to Sunday. And you saw in the newscast that much of the bad weather is going to be spanning across the United States. Metro. Do you know what this means? When you hear metro in English, think city. If you hear metropolis, think big city. Let's take a look at the definition. Short for metropolitan. It relates to a large city and towns around it. The storm will affect the entire metro area, so city buses might stop running. Yeah, and my daughter and my wife are flying down to New York tomorrow morning, hopefully before the snow starts falling. I'm very proud of my daughter. She is donating stem cells in order to help a man. She doesn't know who he is, but a man in his 60s who, if he doesn't get these stem cells, he will die. So luckily my daughter is young, she's healthy, she can donate those stem cells to help save his life. Prepping. This is kind of like slang for preparing. So right now my daughter and my wife is going with her on this trip to New York. They are prepping for their trip. But the official definition, preparing, getting ready for something. We are prepping for cold weather by buying extra food and blankets. And you can see in the picture that woman has lots of blankets stacked on her sofa. What if something is crippling? Tomorrow morning when I wake up, I might experience crippling cold. Right now, it's a little cold in my house. I just got home from school. We do not run the heat during the day, so it's a little cold. I'm keeping my jacket on, but the cold is not crippling. Crippling means causing severe damage or stopping something from working properly. The ice storm caused a crippling traffic jam that stopped cars for hours. Salmon. Take a look at that word. It is salmon. I know there is an L in the middle, but where I live in the United States, we do not pronounce that L. If you go to the southern part of the United States, they say salmon. Both are acceptable, but I will say salmon. Salmon. They are large fish with pink meat that swims from the sea into rivers. Bears in the north often catch salmon in the river to eat. And that guy in the newscast said he was buying cans of salmon for his cats.
Here you go, guys. Who wants the first bite?
Already, temperatures have tumbled into the single digits and lower in the northern plains, where the wind chill could reach an almost incomprehensible -50 degrees.
Tumbled. Do you know that word? Tumbled. The English phrasal verb to fall down, they mean pretty much the same thing. Let's get the official definition. To fall down quickly or suddenly. In weather, it often means temperature dropping. Last night, the temperature tumbled rapidly to -10 degrees. Or you could also say 10 degrees below zero. The northern plains. We have the northern plains in the United States. Do you know where those are located? I can put up a map for you so you can see where they are. But the official definition, a large flat region in the northern central part of the United States. The northern plains are famous for having very cold and windy winters. Notice how plains is spelled. It's not like the thing that you fly in. Wind chill. The wind chill temperatures where I live tomorrow morning are supposed to be about 30 below zero. That is Fahrenheit. Wind chill is a measurement of how cold the air feels on your skin because of the wind. The thermometer says it is 0 degrees, but the wind chill makes it feel like -20. So again, you could say that wind chill is 20 below zero. Oh, I bet they would put this word on the IELTS or TOEFL exam. Incomprehensible. Incomprehensible. It's a good word to know. I don't know how often we use it in daily conversation, but it means impossible to understand. The cold was so extreme that it was almost incomprehensible to people who live in warm places. Please let me know in the comments, is 50 below zero incomprehensible to you? Do you live in a nice warm place?
Conditions so cold, some are on the lookout for exploding trees.
If you hear loud noises coming from like the woods or the forest, it's the trees exploding.
That rare phenomenon happens when the sap inside freezes and expands, causing so-called frost cracking on tree trunks. In Pennsylvania, frigid conditions sending recess indoors.
I think it's fun to play in.
And road crews scrambling to find enough salt.
Phenomenon. That's how you say that word. Phenomenon. And a phenomenon is an unusual or interesting fact or event that can be observed or seen. In that picture, you can see what we call the northern lights in English. The northern lights are a beautiful natural phenomenon. Sap. I know for sure I have never taught sap on the channel. Let's talk about what sap is. It is the liquid inside a plant or tree that carries food and water. In the spring, People collect sap from maple trees to make syrup. We call that maple syrup. I'll tell you what, putting maple syrup on your pancakes is a great way to start the morning. Expands is next. And unfortunately, the sentence is true for me. Let's talk about the definition first. To become larger in size. My waistline expanded after the end of the year holidays. Yeah, I might have eaten too much during Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's Eve. So now I have to go to the gym more often to try to lose some weight. Tree trunks. Do you know this part of the tree? It's like the middle part, the biggest part. Tree trunks. The official definition: the main thick wooden stem of a tree. The strong wind blew so hard that it snapped the tree trunks in half. Frigid. Frigid. It basically means like really, really cold, but let's get the official definition. Extremely cold. The water in the lake was too frigid for swimming. Yeah, I would say take a look at that picture. It looks like the water is almost ice. It's almost frozen. Scrambling. Scrambling. We have a couple different ways we use scrambling in English, but this is the way they used it in the newscast. Moving or acting quickly, often in a rushed or panicked way. Everyone was scrambling to finish their work before the power went out. And guess what? If I went to the store right now, everybody would be scrambling to get milk, eggs, maybe some butter, definitely some bread. People often panic at the grocery store before we get a big storm.
And in the skies, multiple airlines already issuing notices of potential cancellations and delays in dozens of cities, including Atlanta, D.C., and Houston. Throughout Texas, anxiety looms amid memories of the last major storm in 2021 that knocked out power to millions in the state and was blamed for nearly 250 deaths.
Considering what happened last time, I'm worried a little bit.
The state's power grid operator issuing a weather watch, but expects to have plenty of supply to meet demand. Yeah, a lot of worry there, but the grid operator tells us they are stronger this time around and they don't anticipate to see any issues. Doesn't mean that people won't lose power. Localized outages are still a big concern, from freezing rain on power lines. Guys, I think the bottom line now is get out now, get all the supplies you need so you can hunker down and you don't have to be on the roads until this ice thaws.
Potential. Potential. I know we have talked about potential on this channel before. It means the possibility that something might happen or develop in the future. Take a look at that young boy. Maybe he is a really good soccer player now, but when he grows up, he might have the potential to be amazing. Here's the sentence. Even though he is young, he has the potential to be a great soccer player. And we have the potential in the United States for some very bad weather. Luckily, like I said at the beginning of the video, we are just getting a lot of snow here. Yes, it might be cold, but I don't have to worry about ice. I don't have to worry about those exploding tree trunks. I am probably not going to lose power. Losing power when it's super cold is very dangerous, of course. Anxiety. Anxiety. That is like being nervous times 2. Here's the official definition. A feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease. The news about the bad weather caused a lot of anxiety for travelers. Looms. Looms, a great verb to know in English. It means to appear as a large, threatening shape, or when a scary event is about to happen. A dangerous storm looms on the horizon. They talked about the power grid in the newscast. I just wanted to make sure you knew what the power grid was. It is the system of wires and stations that deliver electricity to a large area. And you can see there is part of a power grid there in the picture. If the ice breaks the electrical lines, the entire power grid could fail. Back in 1998, where I live, We had a terrible ice storm, one of the worst ever to affect my area. And some people didn't have power for like 2 or 3 weeks because our power grid went down. Luckily, I was living near a hospital, so I wasn't without power for very long, maybe 12 hours. If it's very cold outside and you don't have power in your house, it's possible your pipes could burst. That would cause a real mess and cost a lot of money to fix. Another great verb to know in English, anticipate. We might have talked about this on the channel before. It means to expect or predict that something will happen. We anticipate that schools will be closed tomorrow due to the snow. And my principal already emailed all the teachers at my school and said that we have the potential for a snow day on Monday, and I don't think we'll be going to school. Doesn't hurt my feelings. Maybe I will make a bonus English lesson on my day off. The bottom line. The bottom line. It is a great idiom to know in English. It means the most important point or the final result of a situation. And here we have a couple looking out their window, and you can see there is lightning looming in the distance. We can talk about the details later, but the bottom line is that we need to stay inside to be safe. I saved the best for last. This is my favorite term, this English phrasal verb, hunkered down. If you would like to talk like a native English speaker, use this English phrasal verb, hunkered down. It means to stay in a safe place for a period of time, usually to wait for danger to pass. My family hunkered down in their living room with hot cocoa while the storm raged outside. That looks very cozy to me. And once my daughter and my wife get on their flight and they are safe in the air, I will be hunkering down for the rest of the weekend. Like I said, I don't think I need to go out on Monday because we will have 2 feet of snow on the ground. That is going to do it. Congratulations, you made it to the end of another English lesson. I hope wherever you are safe. There are a lot of crazy things going on in this world right now. If you want to get more English about some crazy stuff that is going on right down there, it's about Iran. Bad things are happening there. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.